welcome back to my channel. So I'm really excited today because it's a little bit different of a video and I have a special guest with me today that I'm super excited about. So today I'm going to talk about some DIY makes that do not have a pattern, and I'm also going to talk about a DIY hack for a dress that I want to make that does have a pattern. So let's just get right into it. So first, since my guest is a little bit antsy, we will do her portion first. So this is a dress that Eliza Lex came up with. It is a rectangle sheer dress, and she has instructions for this on her Instagram and saved in her highlights. So you can go find out how to make it there. And I'm not going to teach you how to make it because she's already showed you. So I'm just going to tell you about it and tell you how amazing it is and how easy it was. Okay, so here's my dress. It is amazing. I love it so much. I feel like I'm just floating around in fairyland whenever I wear it. I used most of her typical measurements that she includes in her instructions for all of the pattern pieces. I used my bust measurement for this, and she explains how to do that. The shirring on my machine works really well. All I did was put the elastic thread, which I will link one down below, in my bobbin. Didn't really change anything but the stitch length to 3.5, and there's lots of videos about shirring out there, but I'm not going to talk in detail about that today. But I basically, that's all I did, and I had perfect shirring. I put them about 3/8 of an inch apart. Did about 20 rows, I believe. Hold on, let me count. 18, 19, 20! Yeah, it's 20. One thing that you want to be very careful about when you're shirring is really go slow, maintain your distance, because if you start going wavy and start being uneven and your stitches are not 3/8 of an inch or 1/2 an inch or whatever you set, if they're not that distance apart, it will start to look a little bit funny and have puckers and things like that. So you want to make sure that you do that correctly. You also want to make sure that you bury the ends. So I don't back stitch at the beginning and end. I just leave long ends, and I buried them in a French seam in the back. Let's see if we can find the back. Oh, that was the back. See, it's hard to see what's the back and the front because it's just buried in the shirring. This is the back. So this is this portion. This is the back. The seam goes all the way down. And I did French seams for the whole thing, which is what she recommends. So you make sure those ends are buried in there so that the elastic doesn't come out and your stitching doesn't come out. So I did that. These were perfect. I measured the elastic while it was on my shoulder, and she kind of explains how to do that. And then that's it. I just made a tier that was 1.5 as wide for the bottom, and she explains how to do a bottom tier as well if you would like to do that, if you want to add that, but you don't have to. And this is an encased elastic that you use a basically just a bias tape that you make out of the fabric, and you use that to encase the elastic, and you put the elastic in there, and then you have this little thing. Now you could also just shear this as well, but since my arm will go in and out of it multiple times, I typically, unless I'm doing it for a certain effect, I typically like just elastic because it's a little bit more durable. So my guest is getting especially antsy, but she is my 11-year-old daughter, Emma. She's just super talented. So she does know how to sew. She's really good, and she also made a dress in her size because all you have to do is use your measurements. So come on, Emma. Come on up. She's wearing her dress, and it is beautiful. So we discussed what she would want, and I measured her bust size, and we kind of worked out what it would be widthwise for her bust, and then we sheared on her machine that she uses. And then, as you can probably tell, but I'll go ahead and let you know, this on mine and hers, this is a continuous piece, and she made hers shorter. She doesn't have a bottom panel like I do, because she wanted kind of more of a like midi short play dress, and she wanted shorter sleeves, and I love these sleeves so much. So for her measurements for the sleeves, we made it a little bit skinnier, but I didn't take off that much width, and I'm so glad I didn't, because look at this poof, it's amazing. For the elastic here, we basically just took a piece of elastic that was a little bit thinner, because she didn't really need as thick of an elastic, and I just put it around her arm and measured what it needed to be, and that's what I ended up putting in her casing, which I just let her use some bias tape, single fold bias tape that was, I think, ½ inch or an inch, or let's see, I think it's ½ inch. But this is the bias tape I let her use. It's just a black bias tape. You can't really see it because this fabric is very opaque. And so I didn't make her cut out her own bias, because that's a little bit harder. But it was so simple for her. All she had to do was shear all these rows. She actually did a French seam, and she put it together in the back and popped these sleeves on. They're just rectangles. Everything's a rectangle. So I kind of like walked you through this, but the tutorial on her Instagram is very self-explanatory, so you will not need all this extra information, but it's still good to know all these little tips and tricks. So Emma, was it hard to do, you can sit on me. Was it hard to do the shearing?
Well, not really. It just took a long time. It wasn't that hard.
It did take a long time. She wanted to keep going, but you had to go to bed, right? What did you think whenever you first put it on and saw the sleeves?
I thought that I looked like you.
That's good, right? Is that good? Okay. Woo. That's good. Yeah, I think my most surprising moment when she put this dress on was the sleeves, because I was like, oh my gosh, they're so cute short. And then I got all sorts of ideas. I was just like, oh my gosh, I can make this dress, and I could have a short sleeve, and then I could like stand up, I could cut it off here and then like put like a circle skirt on it, and so it would be like a really cute like sheared poof sleeve circle skirt dress. Like that would be so cute. And circle skirts are also easy to make, so, and easy to attach to something like this. So anyways, so did you have fun?
Yes.
Are you happy with it?
Yes, I'm happy.
Yes, and she wears dresses all the time, like just on regular days. This fabric was something she picked out as well, and she loves it, and I love it too. It's beautiful. So thanks for being a guest, princess.
Thank you.
All right, go do something. All right, so next we are going to talk about my next DIY project, and it is, oh, I'm gonna break something. I almost said handkerchief. Handkerchief dress would be cool. A bandana dress. So, couple of things with this dress. It's amazing. I love it. It's different on the front and the back. Super easy to make. You don't need to hem it. Because you know the edges are already hemmed. They're super gathered right here, which I love. You can make this any length. I could have just stopped here and not extended it. You could also see I cut into one of the bandanas here. I could have gone even higher and made it a little bit shorter and only had like one panel. You can get any kind of bandanas you want and mix and match them. I just laid them out and just kind of moved them around. Like I had a place for the front and a place for the back, and I just kind of moved them all around. There are 6 bandanas in the front panel and 6 in the back, and then there's a total of 4 on the top. You only need 1 for each sleeve, and 1 for the front and 1 for the back. So I love the color combos. I almost didn't include the yellow because it was so bright, but I took some advice from some friends and I decided that I still wanted the yellow because it just made me happy. So this is, you could call this the front or the back. I didn't even put a tag because I plan on wearing it both ways. It's exactly the same on the front and the back. You can kind of see how it's made, but I'm not going to talk about it because there is a wonderful woman on Instagram that sells these dresses, and her name is Psychic. Her Instagram name is Psychic Outlaw, and they're beautiful. She has tons of different ones and a lot of other beautiful things for sale. So I'm just going into it a little bit, but Eliza Lex, again, from By Hand London, also made one of these. DIY Daisy has made one. I had a couple of ideas for this one since the colors weren't exactly what I wanted, although I completely love it now. I had a couple of ideas though. I thought that at first I wanted to dip it in some, or tie it up and spray it with some bleach to kind of like tie-dye the bleach on there, but then I was like, no, that would be too busy, and I took some advice from some friends that said that, and I was like, yeah, you're totally right, it would be too busy. But then I thought about dipping the whole thing in a bleach water and just kind of like muting all the colors and just like making them a little bit calmer and muted. And I was going to do that, but like when I put it on, it made me feel so happy and just like I just loved every inch of it. And so I just didn't want to, I wasn't quite ready to put it in bleach. I may do it later. Pop a comment down below if you think I should and if you think I shouldn't, because I really want to know what you guys think. Next, I want to talk to you about a project that does have a pattern. This is not DIY, but after I make it, I want to DIY something with it. So I'm a little bit obsessed with bleach, as you can tell from my last thing, but I have the thought, I have tons and tons and tons of this Tencel Twill. It's like a slate black gray color. I think I literally have like 5 or 6 yards. Like I have so much, or meters. It might even be meters. Why do I have so much? Because I was going to make a coat with it, and then I decided I didn't want that coat, and then I had, since I was going to make a coat with it, I wanted to make something else with it, I think pants, but then I didn't want to take away from the coat yardage, so I bought some more of it. Then I decided not to make either one of those things, and so now I have so much of it, and I'm like, I don't really wear this color like by itself. It's a very good neutral color, but I was like, what am I gonna do with it? So I have been like binge watching this bleaching mess, and I will pop up a few pictures of some people on YouTube that have bleached like sweatsuits and like old t-shirts and things like that, and they have wrapped them in rubber bands, or they've rubber banded them in weird spots and like sprayed bleach on them, or just kind of like poured it in the bathtub, and then when they open it up, it's like all uneven and it looks kind of not really tie-dyed, but just like splotchy in like a super cool way. So I was like, this fabric would be really cool to do that with because it'd be very noticeable. It's a very plain fabric, and it's very boring in my opinion for like a dress or something. But I thought to myself, if I could find like a simple dress that I could make with this fabric for like the beach, or you know, for really any time actually, because this color could be worn in the fall as well, like boots or whatever, then I could like have something simple, a dress, have something, a fabric that's simple, but then have like a really cool effect on it. So I thought of the Demeter dress to make out of this, and I love the neckline on that shirt. I've never made it as a dress, but I love the neckline, and I've made 2 of the shirts, and I like seriously love them. They're so gorgeous. So I thought I would make the dress out of this, tie it in rubber bands, spray it with bleach, untie it, wash, rinse it, put it in the washer, dry it, ta-da, end up with an awesome garment. So that's what's going on in my head. I don't know if that's actually what's gonna happen when I do it. But if you guys are interested in that, comment down below, because I would love to take you along for the journey, like as a before and after, like show you the dress and then go do it and come back in like a super cool dress. So it's very trendy right now. A bunch of people are doing it. I don't really like to follow trends and fads, but like I can't help it. It's like this whole video is like a trend. Like Shirring is in, bandana dresses I've seen everywhere, and tie-dyeing like old fabric or thrifted fabric, or just something that I think is, in my opinion, like more boring. But it may be not boring for you because everybody's different. But because these would make like really good pants, right? Just like neutral, nice pants. But see, I am never practical like that. So anyway, dress it is with bleach. That's what I'm gonna do. So I can't wait to do this. I wanna take you along for the journey, and that's it. That's all I'm talking about. This is all my DIY stuff. I have started with the polymer clay earrings, and I'm gonna take you along for that ride at some point. Not sewing related, but still very exciting. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, go ahead and leave them down below. Hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you want to be notified when I have another video. Hit the like button if you like this video. And yeah, if you guys could respond to the couple of questions that I asked earlier, that would be awesome. I really like your help. And I love replying to your comments. So have an awesome day, and I hope you enjoyed. Bye!